Ahoy hoy, this is Black Goat. Alice in Borderland Season 3 came out on Netflix in September 2025. In this video, I want to share my thoughts after finishing the season, how the new story connects to the original manga, the plot points that stood out to me, and a few things that didn't quite work. Spoiler warning, I'll talk about both the live action and the manga. If you have read the manga, you can see the references right away. The title is based on Alice's adventures in Wonderland. The main character's surname, Alice, is simply the Japanese way of saying Alice. Other names follow the same pattern. Usagi sounds like rabbit, in Japanese of course. Hatter refers to the Mad Hatter, and Milakano plays the Queen of Hearts in the Season 2 finale. After the Shibuya meteor incident, everyone returns from the Borderland. Alice and Usagi get married, a clean, simple ending. But Usagi is still affected by her father's suicide, and that trauma shapes who she is. Season 3 uses this as the main trigger for the new story. Personally, I think this idea is fine. To bring the characters back into the Borderland without another disaster, the show brings back Banda, now a citizen who wants Alice to join him. He manipulates Professor Ryūji, who is obsessed with the afterlife, and uses Usagi's emotional weakness to pull her in. In short, Alice re-enters the Borderland to save his wife. But there are two things here that I feel a bit forced. First, I'm not sure why Banda assumed Alice, a good game player, would naturally become a good citizen or a game designer. Being good at survival doesn't mean you can create psychological death games. Alice has always rejected the whole system. Even if Banda's plan succeeded and Ryūji killed Usagi somehow, this is hard to believe Alice would suddenly turn dark and volunteer to become a citizen who kills others. If I were Alice, I'd probably just design a game to take out Banda instead. Unless someone is already twisted like Banda or Yaba, no one would create lethal games just for fun or to teach people the meaning of life, something like that. I really don't understand Banda's logic here. Second, Ryūji's role is strange. He says he wants to reach the afterlife, which sounds like something he could pursue alone. Why work for Banda? But later, we learn he was in a near-death state during a traffic accident, similar to the Shibuya survivors, which explains why he had already seen the Borderland. That reveal works, but his early behavior feels like it needed stronger setup. A small note, in Taiwan or Hong Kong, the manga title is Alice in the Land of Limbo. Borderland comes from the Japanese phrase Imawa no Kiwa, meaning the brink of death, the space between life and death. After Ryūji enters the Borderland again, he wants something more. He wants to know who really controls that world. This pushes him to work with Banda again, this time out of curiosity. I think the writers took Alice's curiosity from Season 1 and 2 and shifted it to Ryūji in Season 3, except Ryūji becomes much more extreme. Alice was willing to give up the truth for Usagi. Ryūji is willing to sacrifice Usagi for the truth. The show tries to create a kind of emotional tension, almost like Ryūji falling for a married woman. But the problem is that romance doesn't feel developed. He doesn't get enough screen time, so his obsession becomes thin. The final world-ending vortex scene also quite messy to me. He wants to kill her, then he doesn't. He doesn't want her dead, but then wants to die together. He steals someone's wife, then gives her back. Too many sudden changes in a short time. If some of those minutes had been used earlier for his background or the backstory building, his choices would become more believable. In the manga, which basically ended with the Queen of Hearts game, the author never confirms what the Borderland really is. It stays ambiguous. But Season 3 has Banda step into the real world and run death games there, which makes the Borderland a concrete, physical thing that removes the original mystery. The show also doesn't explain how Banda moves between worlds. Maybe it's saved for a future season, I don't know. But so far, no further information released yet officially. I don't mind expanding a story, but if Netflix keeps adding things, it might create contradictions. There is also a logical problem. How did Anne even see Banda in the real world? Time moves differently between the two worlds. Alice spends days in the Borderland while only minutes pass outside. The difference is huge. So unless Anne can run as fast as the Flash, or Banda ate a slow fruit from One Piece, it doesn't make any sense to me. Overall, Season 3 adds many original elements and feels a bit like the live-action Kagekurui, adding new story beats not found in the manga. I don't think Season 3 ruins the original, but the result is not great either. I personally prefer the manga's open ending. The manga didn't end because the author ran out of ideas. It was deliberate. In the Queen of Hearts game, Mila offers different explanations and rejected all of them by herself. As she asks, does the answer really matter? The point isn't the Borderland, it's about rethinking what it means to live. In the manga's final chapter, ordinary people are asked the same question: why do you live? There's no single answer, just like the question, what is the Borderland? Everyone can interpret it differently. That ambiguity is what I liked. Season 3 removes that ambiguity and turns the Borderland into something concrete. I don't think that change helped. I know I sound very negative, but honestly, Season 3 is not that terrible. Compared to many live-action adaptations, this one is okay. For example, I like that the finale followed up on the Season 2 survivors instead of adding random street interviews like the manga. One small detail. In the live-action, Alice works as an intern in a psychiatric facility, which links to Mila's influence. In the manga, Alice felt Mila had saved him in some way, and that guided his career. All those pain and sadness from the Borderland completely changed his life, which is in a very positive way. The ending shot in America feels like a setup for a Western version, and to be honest, that worries me. We've seen so many examples that how badly that can go. That makes me have no expectation for the coming season, if they are really going to have one. To keep this video from running too long, I'll cover the games and detailed plot issues in another video. These are my personal opinions. What do you think? Did Season 3's plot and ending work for you? Any character moments you liked or want to talk about? Please tell me in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like and share. I'm Black Gold. See you in the next one. One last fun detail. Some fans noticed that in the official poster, everyone raising their hands survives, except the brother who lifts his hands for his sister. Some people interpret that as a kind of symbolic sacrifice, but that's only a fan theory, not official. What do you think? Did you notice other details from the season? Please share with us in the comments.